Good morning everyone. Happy Makar Sankranti to all of you. Welcome to Tathastu ICS. My name is Pooja Sharma and I am your current affairs faculty. And today I am going to take your DNA session. So today is 14th of January 2025. This is the QR code for the Telegram group from where you can access the PDF files of the Hindu analysis which are being there on the Tathastu platform. Okay, so let's start today's discussion. Good morning everyone who are online as well. Rihan, someone is IPS Amar, okay. Ankit, Shivansh, Mamta. So good morning everyone. So these are the new courses which are starting at Tathastu ICS. So you can go through these courses if any one of you are interested in that. Now, these are the news which we are going to cover today. The first news is there on your front page only on the daily edition that inflation falls to a 4-month low in December. It falls to a 4-month low. So it is a good news because if the inflation is going to get down, so the RBI can actually cut down on interest rate, and cutting down on interest rate actually going to benefit the growth of our economy. It's a good thing. So we are going to understand this in detail. Then another article, the Prime Minister opens Z Mode tunnel in Jammu and Kashmir. But because he was there, he did not say anything about the restoring the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir. Now, what is this tunnel? This tunnel is actually a part of the Zojila tunnel. Okay, Zojila tunnel. And this tunnel is going to reduce the travel time between Kashmir and Ladakh actually. It is not between Jammu and Kashmir, it is between Kashmir and Ladakh. Okay, now the third news is related to Russian ship reactor vessel to Kudankulam 6th unit. We all know that in Kudankulam we have the nuclear power plant. So we actually had the 6 units of power plant. Now the 6th one actually coming from Russia to India. So this project is being facilitated by Russia. So we are going to know about what this particular project in, what are the other projects in India, what are the nuclear power projects in India. Very important for your UPSC examination. Now, fourth news is Army Chief actually gave his speech, and during his speech actually he took some stands about what is there, what is the present situation at line of actual control, what is the scenario at line of control, that is between India and Pakistan, line of actual control between India and China. So all these kind of security scenario, what are the current status on that. So our Army Chief has given a speech, so we are going to discuss that also in detail. Then we are going to discuss another important editorial on your editorial page. This is about pravasiBH Divas. So pravasiBH Divas was there on 9th of January, okay, last week, 9th of January. And what is the significance of pravasiBH Divas? What is pravasiBH? What who are NRIs, who are PIOs? So we are going to discuss that in detail. And what is the significance of Indian diaspora? This is actually part of your syllabus also in mains examination. So let's start today's discussion. Most of the news today are prelims oriented, okay. So the first news is related to that inflation, because we were reading from so many months that inflation is increasing, okay. In India inflation was increasing. You can see that there was a sharp rise in the inflation. This is red one is the food inflation. This is the food inflation. And this is generally CPI inflation. CPI inflation. So again, the CPI inflation is somewhat dependent on food inflation also. Why inflation was increasing in India? It is only because of the food prices. If you are purchasing the food or the vegetable from the market, you would be knowing that the prices of the very essential vegetable like tomatoes, potatoes and onion, their prices were increasing from last few months. From last 4 months food inflation was very high, but now it is easing down. So this is the first month in the last 4 months that we have reached a reached a certain below point. Okay, so it is decreasing, so it is a good sign. If it is going to decrease in the same manner, and if we can reach CPI inflation, we can reach around 4 or 4.5, then it is a good sign for economy, because the moment we are going to reach at 4 or 4.5 target, then our monetary policy committee in its next meeting can ease down the interest rates. They can cut the interest rate a little bit, right? So interest, what is the significance of cutting the interest rate? Why India want to, why interest rates are high? Why RBI was not cutting the interest rate before? Because there was inflation. Inflation is already there. If inflation is there, we cannot have expansionary monetary policy. We cannot give, we can have more money in the market, because that is going to accelerate the inflation situation. So if inflation is easing down, now there is a window with the RBI so that they can cut on interest rate, and cutting on interest rate actually going to benefit the growth, because now there will be more money for the spending, new business can be started, it will be easy, because the interest on the loans the people are taking, on those loans interest are going to get down, and more loans will be taken by the people, and more businesses, more startups can get started. So it can give actually a boost to our economy, right? Now, so this is the situation. So it is going down. Again, this is just one fact that it is going down. Again, UPSC is not going to ask you what happened in this December month. So inflation went down or no. No, this is not the scenario. The scenario is that this news is for your understanding that now inflation can go down, and what can be the effect of the going down of the inflation on the economy in general, right? So India's retail inflation actually eased at 5.22. Okay, retail inflation. And down from 5.5 in November. So in December it is 5.22. Before that it was 5.55. With food inflation is also easing down to 8.4%. So 8.4% are food inflation, and 5.22% are retail inflation. What is our target? Our target is to make it around 4 to 4.5%. Okay, that is not a big level of inflation. Again, this inflation aligns closely with RBI's quarterly projection, leaving a little room for the interest rate cuts amid calls for economic stimulus. So economic stimulus can happen if the inflation is going to get down in the next few months as well. So that's a good thing. So this was all about this news. Again, there are so many data given in this particular news. We are not going to remember all those data. What you need to remember, only these two data. Okay, 5.22 and 8.4%. 5.22, it means the overall inflation, the CPI inflation, and 8.4% right now is our food inflation. Food inflation is always higher than the CPI. Okay. Yes, interest rate is cut, then investments will definitely increase. No, investment, देखो interest rate अगर बहुत कम हो जाएंगी तो foreign investment इंडिया में थोड़ी कम ही आएंगे. Because why the investment from outside is coming to India? So it is again an economic concept. It is coming to India because interest rate in India are higher as compared to the interest rate outside. That's why we were very much worried when USA was increasing its interest rate. If USA was also giving 6% interest rate and India is also giving 6% interest rate, then why someone who is in the USA is going to invest in India? Usually what people do, they take loan from the USA because interest rate is less and they invest in India. So it is good for India. But again, we need to make a balance in between these all the parameters. So this is how the economy, this is what is the role of RBI in this particular scenario. Now, let's come to next news. This news is very factual news, but very strategic news. Why? What is the strategic importance of this particular project which inaugurated by our Prime Minister? So Prime Minister inaugurated Z-Morth Tunnel. Why it is known as Z-Morth Tunnel, I will tell you. Because before that the road, now there is a tunnel. Before that there was a road, but that road was not all season road. In the winters it was very difficult because there were so many avalanches in that particular road, and the road was in Z shape. So that's why it is known as Z-Morth Tunnel at Sonamarg. Sonamarg is a place which is between Kashmir. If you are going from Kashmir to Ladakh, then in your way the Sonamarg will be there. So now it has been renamed at. Now the tunnel's name is also a Sonamarg tunnel, right? The tunnel is a critical infrastructure. Hai. Why? Because it is going to provide all weather connectivity, right, to the not only the Sonamarg tourist destination, to the Ladakh also. Other than that, it is going to facilitate a year-round connection between Kashmir and Ladakh. Why is that? Because in winter, because of the avalanches, this particular road was always filled with ice, right, in the winters. So it was not a year long, there was not a year long connectivity, but having such this tunnel, we can have a year long connectivity. Tunnel is going to be covered, so avalanches are not going to impact much on tunnel, right. Now this place is situated at an altitude of 8500 feet, okay, above the sea, and prone to snow avalanches in the winter, thus closing the Sonamarg road for most of the part of the winter. So again, you think, so you look at this map, this is very important map. Now obviously more FDI is good for India, Mohammed. So first of all, this is the tunnel. So you can imagine this is Srinagar and this is your Kargil, and from Kargil se aage hi you will go to Ladakh. So from Srinagar to Ladakh, this is the way. Okay. In between this way, there is a place known as Sonamarg, from where this tunnel is going. So here we have this tunnel. So this is the zoom version of the tunnel. This is how the tunnel. So earlier the road was like this yellow part, but now we have this tunnel. So tunnel is going to reduce the time period as well, but this tunnel is not to reduce the time period. That is not the basic objective. Basic objective is that because we are at such a height, 8500 meter above the sea, feet above the sea level. So in this particular area there are so much avalanches. So because of those avalanches, this particular road was always filled with, not always, in the winter it was filled with ice. So it was very difficult to travel to these areas in winters. But now because of this tunnel, this particular issue can be solved. But this tunnel is a part of a big project. The big project is a Zojila tunnel. So Zojila tunnel is going to be there because iske aage jayenge to there will be a place Zojila. So Zojila, you know that Zojila is a pass also. Okay. So from where it is going to go through, then there will be another tunnel. So this yellow is the road and this red one is going to be your tunnel. It will be a 13 kilometer, almost 13 kilometer tunnel. This one which we have read today, it is a 6 kilometer tunnel only. Again, sometimes UPSC ask the measurement of tunnel as well. So this is how the connectivity between Srinagar and the Kargil or the Ladakh area can be easy. Okay. So connectivity can be improved. So that is the scene. Yes, Bhishan, you are very much right. So this is what is very important. So you need to understand that. Why we are connecting? Why the government is spending so much money on this tunnel and road connectivity? Because road connectivity in general, not only in this area, it is going to boost tourism also. It is good for our security purpose also. So the two purposes are very, very important. One is the security, the major important one is the security. The second one, so that our soldiers can move from one place to another place very easily. And the second is to improve the tourism in this area. Okay. Now let's come to our third news. So this news is about Kudankulam power project. Okay, we know that there is a nuclear power plant at Kudankulam in Tamil Nadu, right? So now there used to it was proposed that there will be 6 reactors. Right now the 2 reactors are functioning. Okay, only 2 are functioning, but proposal was for 6 reactors. 2 are functioning, and after that more are still here in India, but they are in the construction process. Now the 6th one has left Russia and is coming to India. Okay, so it is already en route from Russia to India, and it's not only this reactor vessel, all the reactors which are there in Kudankulam, all the 6 reactors are 100 megawatt capacity, 1000 megawatt capacity, and the 6th unit is coming here. Again, it is en route to its site in the Tamil Nadu. So this is just the news, but we need to understand here what this project is and what kind of reactors we have at Kudankulam, a nuclear power plant. Now, it was actually manufactured by a Russian company only, Rustam Atommash division, right? Currently, Kudankulam operates 2 reactors and is constructing 4 more. All are designed by this Russian company only, Rustam. Actually, these reactors are famous for their safety. They are noted for their safety, their reliability. So the safety mechanism is and high term efficiency also. So these Rustam company is famous for having good quality or efficient and safe nuclear reactors, because the biggest problem when we face when it comes to the nuclear power project is the safety of the power project. So we should not have the Fukushima kind of incidents in any other part of the world. So nuclear power is a clean power, but nuclear power is can be very dangerous also if it is not handled properly and if the plants are not safe. So the safety of the plants is very important. So let's understand this project in detail also. So first of all, let's see where this particular project is. So it is here in Tamil Nadu, Kudankulam nuclear power project. Right now in India we have 7 operational nuclear power plants. So let's start from Kudankulam. Above in Tamil Nadu also we have a Madras atomic power. In Karnataka we have Kega, and in Maharashtra we have Tarapur, and in Gujarat we have Kakrapar. In Rajasthan we have Rajasthan atomic power plant, and in Uttar Pradesh we have Narora atomic power plant. So we already have operation. Obviously there are so many under construction also. But what about this particular project, KNPP? KKP short form is Kudankulam Nuclear Power Project, KKNPP. First of all, India's largest nuclear power station, first thing to remember is here, located in Tirunelveli district. Nuclear energy is, yes, clean energy. Without any doubt, nuclear energy is considered as clean energy. But nuclear waste can be hazardous. So it is not as clean as the wind or the solar energy. But there can be the waste can create problem. Okay, someone is saying Narora is 50 km away from his house. Good. So you should visit that plant and you should know what kind of activities is going there. So it is always good. Again, it is being developed by the collaboration of Russia's Rustam State Corporation. And what kind of reactor they are giving? They are giving us VVER reactor. We are not dwelling into the full form of VVER because it is in Russian. The meaning of that is water energetic reactor, because water is only going to be used as a heavy water is going to be used here, right? So again the features, first of all it is a 1000 megawatt capacity, first of all. Second is there is a pressurized water reactor, so that's why it is actually safer, right? Again each reactor has a capacity, the same thing. 2 reactors 1 and 2 are already operational since 2013 and 16. So right now only 2 are operational out of 6, and the 6th one, the vessel is coming from Russia to India right now. 4 additional units are in various stages of construction, out of which the 6th one is already en route. So this was all about this project, which you need to remember actually. Let's come to our next news today. So today the news were mostly prelims oriented. Now, so our Army Chief Upendra Dwivedi actually remarks on LAC and security issues in general. So let's understand what all he has said. So what he talked about, line of actual control. Line of actual control is an agreed boundary between India and China, right? It is not the proper boundary, but we believe, according to us, the Johnson line is the line which is the boundary between India and China. According to China, McDonald line is the line which is the original line. So we already have dispute over it. So we, after 1962 war, after 1962, both countries agreed on that let's have a line of actual control, and line of actual control is not the final line, but it is the actual control line. Like we have the line of control LOC with Pakistan. Again, and according to LOC, the Pakistan occupied Kashmir is not part of Kashmir, but POK is very much part of Kashmir only. Now, line of actual content remains the, what he has to say about line of actual content, and he is talking about the current scenario. He is saying that it remains sensitive, but right now it is stable. Okay, so he is saying that obviously it was sensitive since 2022. We all know that there were Galwan clash. Okay, 20 Indian soldiers died at that point of time. So obviously there was tension in the area, but right now he is saying that LAC remains sensitive but stable. Why stable? Because we know that recently we had this agreement with China where the buffer zones, okay, the patrolling in buffer zone was resumed. So it was a good sign that the border dispute, there is at least to talk about between India and China about the border dispute which is happening in Ladakh region of country. Now, corps commanders have been empowered to resolve the patrolling and grazing issue locally to maintain harmony and avoid escalation. So obviously escalation, both the country wants to avoid escalation. So the moment that clash, Galwan clash happened, after that the area which is surrounding the line of actual control, that was actually declared a buffer zone. So neither the Chinese army nor the Indian army was allowed to go to buffer zone. Why it was that? Because both countries did not want such kind of clash to happen again. So the buffer zone was there for like 4 years, but now recently the India and China agreed on this point that let's at least resume the patrolling. But now army chief is saying that now they have given the power to the corps commanders only, okay, if such kind of small dispute arise in such area, so that the harmony can be maintained. So he is saying that LAC is sensitive, but again it is sensitive but it is stable. What else he said about? He is saying that what are the, okay, disengagement in areas like Depsang and Demchok in eastern Ladakh include 2 rounds of verification patrolling. These are also the areas in Ladakh region only. Okay, these are the part of eastern Ladakh. So here also the disengagement, it means the patrolling has renewed. Again, the buffer zone I just discussed that before, after the Galwan clash, there was a buffer zone declared around the line of actual control, but now the patrolling was removed. But temporary measures area to prevent potential violence due to heightened tension. Now he is saying that trust between India and China needs redefinition post April 2021, that is the Galwan clash happened in that time, with efforts underway to restore calm and confidence. So this was all about what is the current scenario of line of actual control. Then what was he talking about? Line of control with Pakistan. So he is saying that the February 2022 ceasefire is holding. Right now it is there, but terror infrastructure in Pakistan remain active. So right now on the border is calm, but infiltration from the Pakistani side is still active. So it has not been completely removed. So violence is linked to Pakistan's support to terrorism, which needs to cease for a longer term stability. If we want stability in line of control region, then such kind of infiltration, the terrorist infiltration in India should stop. So this was the scenario about line of control. Now let's come to our next news. Next news is about from one of your article at your editorial page, that is Indian abroad. Obviously the article is talking about the Indian who are in abroad. So absence of opportunity remains the main driver of migration. So this article has actually 3 parts. In the first part, the article is talking about the pravasiBH Divas. In the second part, the article is basically talking about that what is the significance of India's diaspora and why we actually need such kind of diaspora, why NRIs and PIOs are important for us. And at the last, the article is also mentioning the same line, that why Indians are migrating outside, why there is such kind of brain drain from India. What is the reason behind that? Obviously, what is the reason behind that? Absence of opportunity are the main driver of migration, right? Now, so let's understand the article. The first, he is saying that at the inauguration of the 18th edition of pravasiBH Divas. pravasiBH Divas, I will tell you what is this. So the Prime Minister described the Indian diaspora as India's ambassador to the world. So he is describing them having seamlessly assimilated. So there are two things. First, they are good for India. They are holding up. Look, Indian diaspora is very different from the people from the other countries who are going to go to the other countries, the migrating population. So what Indian diaspora, why Indian diaspora is so important for us? Because the culture of Indian diaspora, the kind of culture we have in India, Indian diaspora follow the same kind of culture, and they have very close connection with India as well, even if they are living outside. That's why we have such kind of days even totally dedicated to our diaspora. Diaspora, you can say that the non-resident Indian or PIOs, okay, all of them can be considered as India's diaspora only. So into the local society, the first, they are actually acting as an ambassador to the world, right? And they are also seamlessly assimilated. It means wherever they have gone, in whatever countries, they have adjusted to the conditions of that country, okay. They haven't created any kind of problem there. Even they are actually contributing to their society also, right? So that's why he has mentioned that why our diaspora, why our pravasis, the meaning of diaspora, are seamlessly assimilated into the local society of different countries. Okay, served as the community and contributed to India's growth and prosperity. So they are actually beneficial for both, for India as well and for the country in which they have migrated. Now, what is this pravasiBH Divas? It is an annual event. It is not in 2 years. Someone is saying it is an annual event organized by the government to recognize and celebrate the contribution of our diaspora for the why? Their contribution to the development of India and to acknowledge their achievement to the world. So we have this award also. This event is actually held on 9th of January. What is the significance of 9th of January in history? Who would tell me what is the significance of 9th of January in our history? Actually 9th January 1915 was the day when Mahatma Gandhi actually migrated from South Africa to India. He was actually, first he was in London, from London he went to South Africa. So he was kind of an NRI, okay, but he came back to India and he has given so much to our freedom movement as well. So that's why we consider the people, the kind of contribution Mahatma Gandhi gave to India, the similar kind of contribution can be given by other diaspora as well. So we keep our diaspora at a very high position now. So this article only mentioning these data, that how many diaspora we have. Actually Indian origin community worldwide is over 35 million, right? Out of which almost half, 15.85 millions are NRIs and 19.57 millions are PIOs. So I hope you know the difference between NRI and PIOs. NRI are non-resident Indians. So they are non-resident Indians. It means they are Indians, obviously. They have Indian citizenship also. They are a citizen of India only. They are citizen of India only. But they are not living in India. They are living abroad. For example, students or the people who are working outside, they still hold the citizenship of India, but they are living outside, or some of them are outside India for few years. So all those people will be considered as NRIs. Obviously they are Indians by the name, but they are non-residents. They are not living in India, but they are Indians. PIOs, who are PIOs? PIOs are people of Indian origin. People of Indian origin. So PIOs are actually the citizens of other country. They are not Indians. They are citizens of other country. For example, a person whose grandfather migrated to USA, but they were born in USA, then the grandchild is a US citizen, but he is person of Indian origin as well. Why? Because his ancestors are Indian. So those people are known as PIOs. So there is a difference between PIOs and NRIs. Obviously we have OCI or PIOs cards as well, and NRIs are the citizen of India only, they just need visa to come to India. Now, their strength is their ability to adapt and thrive in different fields including politics. So in this particular speech, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was more oriented towards the politics part as well, that our diaspora is not only there for the technical work or some other kind of work or serving as a working class, they are the actual participant in the politics of different countries as well. So Indian origin people have become leaders in more than 30 countries, right? So it is a big achievement for us. Again, the pravasiBH Samman Award also you should know about. It is a kind of highest honor to the given to the member of Indian diaspora, which is started in 2003. Why we are giving this award? We are giving this award from their contribution in various fields. Again, these fields are finite. For example, if they are doing good in field of business, or they are doing good in field of public service, culture, philanthropy, community work, and help strengthen India's ties with its diaspora and promote its interest globally in general. So why diaspora is important? Because Indian diasporas are not a very small amount. So wherever Indian diaspora, for example in USA, we have a huge number of Indian population living there, and even their politicians want to seek votes from that Indian population. And because Indian population or Indian diaspora is culturally linked to India, they actually feel their assimilation with India also, and they can actually impact the political system, not that much but a bit also. So Indian diaspora anywhere it is, especially in the major countries like USA, those diaspora are very important for their country, for their politics as well. That's why India always keen to that, or we always want that non-residential of India. Yes, you are very much right. So again, 9th January is there, on which Mahatma Gandhi came from South Africa to India. So that's why we celebrate pravasiBH Divas on 9th Jan. Now, in the second part of the article is talking about the issues which is being faced by diaspora. Okay, what kind of issues? Who are still, particularly those who are still Indian nationals, right? Because the people who are already the citizen of other country, for example, if someone is a US citizen, they don't face that much. They can face some other kind of discrimination, but they don't face the issues such as the visa or some other kind of that they are going to be there. But the people who are of Indian origin, those especially the NRIs, he is just talking about the NRIs. NRIs face major problem. What kind of problem? Because we all know that in the world, the far right populist governments are coming. Like in USA, the Trump 2.0 is there, and Trump is a right form of, his ideology is right. And whatever political party who has right kind of ideology, they don't want to promote immigration in their country. So they actually ban some kind of, or they put restrictions on the immigration. If there is a restriction on the immigration, then it is very difficult for our NRIs to continue in that country for a longer period of time, though they have already spent a significant amount of their life, significant part of their life there, or maybe someone is working there and he is already there for 2-3 years. Then because of these visa restriction, it can be problematic for that particular person. So increase in the populist government, particularly in the West, is making visa and entry condition for Indians very difficult, and it is important for our government also to address such issue. So the article is saying that yes, we are celebrating pravasiBH Divas, but only celebration or giving a pravasiBH award is not enough. What our government need to do? Our government need to have a serious talks with these Western countries where the visa and entry condition for our Indians are being restricted, because this is what our pravasis or our diaspora actually need from our country. So this is the one issue. What is the second issue? Second issue is the global conflict, especially the conflict which is happening in the West or the Middle East. You are saying that, okay, in West Asia. So because of, and West Asia is a place where 9 million Indians actually live and work, okay, and most of them are working in the menial work, okay, most of them are actual worker, okay, daily wages. So we are putting the life of so many or lakhs of Indians in danger because of the global conflict. If such kind of issue or some kind of conflict happens and Indians are there, then Indian government need to be there for their safety and security, and we need to be engaged with these countries also which are already the part of conflict in which Indians are living, that the Indians are diaspora can remain safe in those countries, right? Given the broad spread of the diaspora, it is necessary to ensure that India's ties with its diaspora with inclusive and non-biased on political issue. For example, even if there is our diaspora is not supporting a particular party in which our political party is engaged with, we need to have an unbiased views towards our diaspora. We should not force our diaspora to have their political decision based on our politicians. So this is what the article is trying to say. Now at the end, the article is also mentioning why there is such a large chunk of Indian diaspora, why there is so much brain drain in our country. So above all, it is important to acknowledge that one of the biggest drivers of Indian migrating to the other country is nothing but the lack of economic opportunity within India. While there are no easy fixes for that, it is not very easy to create the economic opportunity which they can get outside our country, but we can do. But the loss of India of most talented people must be counted even as the country celebrates their incredible success and impact on their global stage, right? Now, so this was all about this article. Again, this article is important again for your mains examination basically. Now, let's do some question. Read this question. Which of the following statement is correct regarding pravasiBhatiya Divas? So, the first is, this is celebrated annually on January 9 to mark the return of Mahatma Gandhi to India from South Africa. This is correct, right? Now, the pravasiBhatiya Divas event is aimed at recognize the contribution of Indian diaspora to India's development and fostering closer ties between India and its diaspora. Is it correct? This is also correct. Next, the pravasiBhatiya Samman Award is presented by the President of India to distinguished member of Indian diaspora. Is it correct also? Yes, this is also correct. So, what is the answer? So, 1, 2, 3, all 3 is the correct answer. Let's do some other question. It is about Kudankulam nuclear power project. So, first, it is India's largest power station located in Tamil Nadu. Is it the largest one? Yes, this is the correct statement. It is the largest one. Second, the project is being developed in collaboration with the United States General Electric. Is it true? Is it true? No, it is not a US company. It is this project is being developed with the collaboration with the Russian company Rustam, right? Again, this statement is not correct. This one is correct. The third one, it features the advanced VVER 1000 technology, which is a type of pressurized water reactor. This is also obviously PWR, pressurized water reactor it is. Is it correct? Yes, this is also correct. So, how many statements are correct? Only 2. Yes, only 2 are correct. Yes. Okay. So, so this was all about today's discussion. Most of our articles were prelims oriented today, and prelims are very near as well. So I hope you are reading newspaper also after your DNA session. So happy Makar Sankranti again to all of you. Have a nice day and goodbye.